Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back again from the comic shop this week with count 'em, 5 new comics. Oh, the thrills, oh, the thrills. We'll start you out with a little The Hero Denied. This is Mage number, what do we got here? 11? And I think this is the last issue and they're taking a little hiatus. And then they're going to finish it up. Goes to issue 15. And wow, hard to believe 11 months, 11 issues have gone by since, well, a year since issue 0. So this story has been chugging along. I've enjoying it. It's our hero, Kevin Matchstick, who is the reincarnation of King Arthur. But we learned that in the first series in the 80s. So spoiler alert, if you haven't read Mage from the 80s, guess what? He's King Arthur. Bunch of fun pages. Let's see. He's fighting. He's been laying low for years, and now some evil magic guys are coming after him, and he's fighting them. And his wife is also some kind of witch. And she's been kidnapped by these magic guys along with his son. His daughter is with him. So it's a family story, this one. The first one was kind of, the original story was him being young and single. And then he kind of grew to, next story 10 years later. He was a little older. Now he's middle-aged with a family. And good series. Check out all the Mage books. They're available in trade paperback and such things. And the next is issue 3 of the Magic Order. This is 3 of 6. Looks like I got the special fleshy cover. And I call Mark Millar the master of the expected. And that here's a story about the Magic Order. A bunch of magicians and some other rival magicians are killing them all. And like 3 or 4 or 5 magicians got killed in the first issue. Pretty easily, too. It's one of those kind of superhero tropes where everybody's hard to kill until the plot calls for them to be killed. And then they got killed in clever and magic ways. And who's on the art again? Olivier Coipel is doing the art. Nice artwork. Like I said, it's a straightforward, with Mark Millar, you always get a straightforward story. It's always well executed and well written, but it's not like there's a ton of surprises and twists and stuff like that. But I generally, he's one of those guys who I like. Well, first of all, he almost always works with good artists these days. So I guess since he's got this Netflix deal, he always works with good artists. His Jupiter's Legacy was excellent. I pick up maybe every other series he does, and this one I was actually iffy on, but then I ended up picking it up, and I enjoyed the first 2 issues. And oh wow, look at this comic book haul has been brought to you by the letter M, because Mage, Manifest Destiny, Magic Order. Here's Manifest Destiny issue. Geez, we're up to issue 36 on this one. Wow. So that's, if it was a monthly comic, that'd be 3 years worth of comics. But with breaks, I think it's been more like 4 years since this came out. I wonder when the first issue of Manifest. I'm going to check. Hold on. Wait right there. Right back here is my files of comics. I just had to go back to the shelf just because now I want to know. Here's the Manifest Destiny. The Bison and Buttocks cover. Issue number 1. I just want to see when this came out, because now I'm curious. Issue number 1, November 2013. Wow, that puts it further away even than I knew I'd been buying this for a while, but that puts it at nearly 5 years this fall. So, 4 3/4 years. Put that one back. Since Manifest Destiny number 1, but a story of Lewis and Clark and monsters. Can't even remember where we left off. They're still in their winter camp. They've been in their winter camp for I don't even know how many issues now. Probably since the mid-20s. Fun stuff. There's a mutiny going on. Then a bunch of hostile Indians showed up and killed the mutineers just because they didn't want to deal with them. And that's where we left off with this. But if you like, this is I guess you'd call this a historical horror. Maybe that's what it should be called. Even though any resemblance to actual history is strictly coincidental, because there really weren't any monsters in actual history. But good book. But another one of these Image books I've been buying for 4 or 5 years now, so it's still coming out. I enjoy it. Of course, there's Usagi, which I've been buying since 1986. And which issue is this? Is this 170? 170. Because they started doing, I guess, to get more people to buy it, sort of at 5 of 7 on the cover, but in the indicia they give you the actual number, 170. This is Usagi Yojimbo the Hidden, number 5, volume 3, 170. So, they're doing the legacy number like Marvel is, except they never really relaunched it like 1,000 times. But Usagi's Usagi. Always good. Stan Sakai is a master storyteller. This is the one that, just look at that. There we go. There's a nice 2 pages of a ninja sneaking up. Just glance at that for a moment, and you can see what a good storyteller he is. Just wordless story of ninja sneaking up. And this one is a mystery. That's, what's his name? Inspector Ishido. And there was a murder in the town Usagi's staying in, and he's helping the inspector figure out who murdered the Christian. It's when Christians first came to Japan, this takes place in. And they're trying to figure out who killed who, and fun stuff. It's just a good story. Like I said, I've been reading it since 1986, so I like it. And next, what's coming up here? The Wicked and the Divine. Funny thing was, I didn't know this was coming out this week because it wasn't on my coming out this week. Maybe it was delayed. I don't know. I get an email every week from my comic shop that tells me what's coming in my pull list this week. For some reason, this wasn't in it, which makes me suspect that maybe it was supposed to be out. I could have not come out like last week or whatever. I just never know. But anyway, it wasn't on my list. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of these covers with the logo right over the face. I can do without that. Of course, they can't resist it. I don't know. This is coming to an end. We've only got another, 6 or 8 issues of this one left. The whole series is coming to a violent end. There's been lots of fighting and death in the last 6 months in this series. Some pretty dull artwork right there. Doesn't look like anything too exciting is happening in the first half of this book, but, we'll see. I've enjoyed this. This is the story about a bunch of gods who come back every 110 years and live for 2 years. Why that happens, who knows? They were giving us a little secrets about. Oh, there's a nice stylish panel of the women in their dresses. But I was saying, this is another series. I gotta see. This is issue 38. Hold on, I have to see when issue 1 came out. Since that seems to be a thing I'm doing this week, the Wicked. I pulled out one of these. This isn't the first. I just grabbed the one that was in front, and it's one of these specials. Hold on one other second. We'll just grab the whole lot that's in front. See, there's another special. I put all the specials in the front, and then the number 1s come out. There's another special. Wow, there was a lot of specials. There's special number what, 5? Here we go. The Wicked and the Divine, issue number 1. That's Lucifer, where it all started. Let's see if this was around 2013 also. Where's the old search for the indicia? They didn't put it on the first page. There we go. June 2014. So, Manifest Destiny's been around for longer than The Wicked and the Divine, but yet another one up in their 30s. Just in case you wanted to know when The Wicked and the Divine came out. Da-da-da. There's issue 2. I still could have... I never liked these logos. in the middle of the. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, there are my 5 comics for the week. We got. Whoop, hold on a second. Stupid phone. I hit the mute on the mic though. But a nice little interruption for you. I'm not going to edit this out because, oh well. I'm not doing any editing with these live ones. Not live, but standing in front. See, that's why I always used to do it, just showing my hand in one piece at a time, so in case I got interrupted by something, I could just start over again because I was only doing one comic at a time. Now that I'm doing all the comics, I'm barreling right through. But anyway, wanted to show you that. There's the drawing that I started last week that I finished. This is one of the. I actually looked. I haven't done one. I figured it had been a couple of years since I did one of these, but it turns out to be the last one I did was like 4.5 years ago or something. This size, because I always kind of had a. I left one on my. I usually always had one up in the background here when I put my comics right. When I used to have my comics right here and had some artwork there, there was usually one in the background if I wasn't doing a painting, just because it beats the stark whiteboard. But this is the first one I've done this size in 4 years. So, and there you go. We'll bring it up close for you. Whoops, see if we can get a square. This is all done with brush and marker and whoops, straight edges and French curves, and I've actually worked on a couple of more since that. I've just been on a roll with these because I like working big, but there isn't always the ambition to work big. That's a whole other thing. But I like this size. This what is this? 22 by 30 piece of paper. So the image area is 20 by 28. But I like the sort of black and white graphics and textures I can do with it. And they're just kind of fun to do. So hope you enjoy looking at it, and you guys have a good week out there.